Well, Wayne thought we had a meeting too. I was thinking we had a meeting next week too.
No, we talked about because of the conference and everything, and not coming back till Sunday afternoon.
I think we could have did it. We don't do anything anyway, right?
We aren't here long enough next week to cause enough problems.
Wait, we're done.
No, we're
I don't know
not.
if they're putting them on.
Wait for
Now
it.
we're
I don't even have.
Oh, they're on, these aren't on.
I don't even have mine on. I think, well, Wayne called us cuts plug here.
Yeah, we're on.
Mine's
We're not on here,
Mine's not on either.
Yeah, neither's mine.
but we're on.
Yeah, we're on. We're
Okay.
live.
Now call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners in order. Please rise for a moment of silence, prayer, and the pledge of allegiance.
Father, today we pray for those whose health is compromised that you will heal them. For those who have been in the path of devastation from the recent fires, we remember those who have lost their lives suddenly, and we hold in our hearts and their families forever, changed by grief and loss. Rest in God as the day unfolds. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of preparing accurate written minutes. Recordings are overwritten. Following approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held July 25th, 2024.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
The report of executive sessions held.
There was one executive session held on July 25th, 2024 at 2 p.m. for personnel reasons.
The department reports. The budget transfers.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
There are no supplemental appropriations. Expenditures approval of payroll check numbers 76054 through 76120 and direct deposit numbers 6066959 through 6067440 for the payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $763,988.78. This is the payroll dated July 24th, 2024.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 245136 through 245229 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $448,861.03.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The treasurer's report.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Okay, at this time, we'll recess the commissioners' meeting and call the meeting of the salary board to order.
The first item is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held July 11th, 2024. The reconvened meeting of July 18th, 2024, with the correction to Area Agency on Aging, establishing the position of one part-time senior center operator 1 at $14.13 per hour, grade 2, step A, effective July 22nd, 2024, and the special meeting convened July 25th, 2024.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Are there any guests concerning salary board business? Hearing none, we'll move on.
The report of executive sessions held.
There were two executive sessions held, one on July 25th at 3 p.m. and one on July 29th at 10:30 a.m.
Your first item is the Area Agency on Aging. Establish the position of one aging case 8-2 trainee at $14.13 per hour, grade 2, step A, effective August 1st, 2024.
Motion established.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Emergency Management Agency. Establish the position of one EMA coordinator trainee at $22.19 per hour, grade S7, step A, effective August 1st, 2024.
Motion to establish?
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The Public Defender, change the rate of one chief public defender from $95,944.50 per annum to $92,500 per annum, effective August 1, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Fiscal data processing, Mrs. Herman?
Establish a position of one fiscal data processing supervisor trainee at $26.97 per hour, grade S, 11, step A, effective August 1st, 2024.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. This time, we'll recess the salary board meeting till August 22nd, 2024. At this time, we convene the commissioners' meeting.
The first item is the personnel report for county departments.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The acknowledgements for courts and row offices.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
There's no correspondence received. Bid awards, CDBG. For approval, recommendation was received from the Director of Planning and Development to award the contract for CDBG bid opening on July 18th, 2024 as follows. Jim Thorpe Borough Water Sewer Improvements, Cherry Avenue Water Main, fiscal year 2020-2021, Barker & Barker Paving and Excavating, at their bid price of $72,250.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Another recommendation from the Director of Planning and Development to award the contract for CDBG bid opening on July 18th, 2024 for the Lansford Borough Street improvements, reconstruct Brimble and Street to Stony Lonesome Excavating at their bid price of $384,900.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Children and Youth for approval and execution. The fiscal year 2024-2025 purchase of service agreements with the following providers as listed and as per the attached rates.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The Coroner's Office for approval and execution. An agreement between the County of Carbon and the Pennsylvania Department of Health of Drug Surveillance and Misuse Prevention to obtain coroner medical examiner reports, toxology reports, and autopsy reports for violent deaths in Carbon County for the period of January 1, 2023 to December 31st, 2023 in the amount of $10,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Courts, computer info, for approval, termination of the agreement with Penn Teledata for the telephone service for the jury call-in telephone system with an early termination fee of $160.63 due to the service not being capable with the new Genesis jury system.
Motion to approve.
What the heck was that? Second.
Mr. Honor?
Somebody must have processing, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Information Technology for approval and execution. Renewal agreement with Dell Technologies of Red Rock, Texas for the CrowdStrike Falcon Complete Antivirus System for a one-year term at a cost of $27,750 and CrowdStrike Express Support at a cost of $1,403.43 for a total of $29,153.43. This is a decrease of 23 cents, and this is under the NCPEI contract number 01-143.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Juvenile Court for approval and execution, the fiscal year 2024-2025 grant and aid award notification from the Juvenile Court Judges Commission for partial salary reimbursement of the juvenile court officers for the term of July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. Estimated revenue is $69,300.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Multimodal Transportation Grant Program for ratification. Submission of a grant application to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development for a multimodal transportation fund grant in the amount of $1,182,820.80 for refurbishment of County Bridge Number 19 located on Pohopoco Drive over Pine Run and Beltsville Lake. County match funds $506,923.27.
Motion to ratify and adopt.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Planning and Development Change Order, Mahoning Township, for approval and execution, change order number 2 to the contract with Recon Construction Services Incorporated of York, Pennsylvania, for Mahoning Township Street Improvement, Center Road, and this should be Maple Drive to Willard Drive, fiscal year 2019, 20, 21, and 22, due to contract price decreasing $3,831.20 for a new contract total of $106,498.55. Original contract price $110,329.75.
Motion to approve and execute with the change.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Modification for ratification. Modification number 1 to Jim Thorpe Borough CDBG CV funds, fiscal year 2023, contract number 88719 for reallocation of funds, moving $82,160 from housing rehabilitation project to water sewer improvements, water treatment plant equipment upgrades, phase 1, fiscal year 2023.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Another change, ratification of modification number 2, Jim Thorpe Borough CDBG CV funds, fiscal year 2022, contract number 86225 for reallocation of funds, moving $82,136 from housing rehabilitation project to water sewer improvements, water treatment plant equipment upgrades, phase 1, fiscal year 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The Public Defender for approval and execution, the award of funding in the amount of $92,723 from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for reimbursement of wages for mental health social worker and part-time public defender. Project period is July 1, 2024 to December 31st, 2025. The application was approved on June 6, 2024, agenda item 24261.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The solicitor's report.
Thank you. First, for the Area Agency on Aging, seeking a motion for approval and execution of a letter of agreement between the County of Carbon and the Carbon County Area Agency on Aging and the Senior Community Service Employment Program through the Pathstone program to employ participants for the purpose of receiving on-the-job training at each senior center site from July 1st, 2024 through July 30th, 2025.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Next, seeking a motion to approve a banner request from the Carbon Model Railroad Society of Bowmanstown for their upcoming events website. The banner to be displayed October 7th, 2024 to October 21st, 2024.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
And lastly, seeking a motion to adopt resolution 24-026 to terminate the county's current credit card agreement with American Express and to execute a credit card agreement with the Mock Chunk Trust Company of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Nothing further for the solicitor's report.
Any further business?
Under further business, just want to remind everyone, we will not have a meeting next Thursday, August 8th. Next meeting then will be August 15th. Normal time, late. No.
Okay, Commissioners' reports, Mr. Honor?
We got a, donation from the Carbon County Community Foundation from the Christmas, and the donation was $500 for the dog shelter. I also have, 2 congratulations, one to Mark Nalesnik on his retirement. I hope he has a long life of vacations for the next 30 years. And, I won't say this about the next one, but, congratulations to Eric Wilmont, as a position, or Wiltrot as the, new public defender. And I'm hoping he has a long life of employment at Carbon County. How's that? I don't know if anybody needs any explanation on our bridge that we okayed. I know everybody's looking, so maybe or if you have questions, I can answer the questions, but I can go over some of the things. Or do you want to wait and ask me questions, or do you want me to go over things? I'll let you ask questions. That way it looks like the media's doing something, right? No. No. I'm done.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Again, congratulations on the retirement. I don't know what Mark's gonna do now, but he's not on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It'll be tough to fill that position. So, wish him the best, as well as Roberta Bales from our controller's office has, what, 34 years, or is it a lot more? 37 years. And last week we had Pam Boschbys from the assessment office, so I think there's about 80 years of service that, in between the 3 people. So it seems like all we do anymore is interviews and advertise for positions and salary adjustments and everything. But we thank all of them for their service, and we certainly wish him continued health and enjoy your retirement. So, okay. That's all I have today. Meeting adjourned. Okay, Rachel.
All right, well, yes, let's talk about the bridges. Okay. So, all right, so I'm just looking at the grant application. Can you kind of, I guess, just explain what this grant would do?
The one for Bridge 19, that is probably, I mean, it's not the most important to get fixed for the public. I think it's the best bridge to get fixed to help the taxpayers out. If you look on here, what it costs to renovate, and the county only has to pay 30% of that. And we're hoping that possibly that $506,000 could actually be waived, that we don't have to use county money for that. But that's a good deal to have the bridge last for 30 more years. If something like this, bridge would have to be closed and we would have to renovate at the current price, it's probably $30 million. Carbon County cannot afford $30 million. I mean, we're looking at some of these other projects that we're working on that we're hoping that we can get the funding for probably maybe 12 to 13 million dollars to finish some of the bridges. And I actually have it on this here. Now this one here is gonna be at November 19th. That's when they award the grants. So we're hoping, and I did call our legislators up, that they put a good word for us in at the financing authority, that we get this grant, because like I said, there's no way that Carbon County, without doing this, could and face a bridge that's gonna cost $30-40 million. We'll never be able to do it. I mean, you'd have to you'd have to finance, and what would it cost to finance a bridge for $30-40 million?
Okay, a couple things about that. So, okay, well, first, can you explain why there's such a drastic difference between like the 1 million for refurbishing versus the, what, 30 million for?
Because when you refurbish it, right now, this bridge is what's called a steel structure bridge. And not that they're having problems with it, but that's the one that's more vulnerable to breaking down because it's just rusting. The other ones have, the steel is encased in concrete and that protects it. This bridge doesn't. And we're very fortunate, I think the bridge is really high off of the water, that it doesn't pick up the moisture. And this bridge is in pretty good shape. It's just the top is starting to deteriorate. And once the top goes, then that's when the rest of it's gonna, start rusting. So we're sort of on like a timeline within maybe like the next 5 years that we hope that we can get this into the works and get it fixed within the next couple of years. And it's very simple. It's like take the top off, fix some of the cross braces, and the top that's put on that is on bridges throughout the eastern part of the United States, that latex coating. And some of the bridges from here down to Savannah are lasting 25 years. This has been on bridges for 25 years. And it's just like the roof on your house. If you don't fix the roof on your house, the rest of your house is gonna fall over. So this is, I mean, money-wise, this is the most important thing. And we also are working on 2 other bridges and probably a third one that we're trying to get into the tip. And I think I have it on this that we're in the tip, but we're not quite there yet because we need the documentation, the estimates on what it costs. And one of the ones that we're actually is getting blacktop today in Lehighton is preventive maintenance that Lehighton Borough is helping us with. That hopefully that blacktopping that they're gonna do is gonna hold us over for 5 years until that bridge actually gets into the system like Bridge 19, that we can just renovate it, that it doesn't have a costly, because to replace that bridge there, right now today is over $9.5 million. So hopefully we can stay ahead of the game, that we can refurbish it for maybe another $1 million, that project would go. And now it's down to saving the taxpayers money. And the thing about it, like, where are we gonna come up with $100 million worth of bridge work that's gotta be done? You can't let that go. If we can nip it right now and get it over with, I mean, I'm sure the taxpayers will be grateful for what we're doing here.
Which bridge is getting blacktopped?
Bridge, what is that? I always mix that up, 3. Bridge 3,
And the borough's doing the blacktopping, not the county?
yes.
Okay.
And
Sorry.
and this is like, it's like an public entity agreement.
Intergovernmental.
Yeah, intergovernmental agreement that we're doing, and it's under the limit. The limit, I think, is, what is it, 12,600 or 300, right?
600.
Yeah, 600 right now. So they're doing it for us, and they're doing some of the work that goes up to the bridge, on their own. So it's sort of like we're working together to finish what has happened from the 443 construction, that from 443 to the bridge, that it's gonna be completely blacktopped.
Okay, so then that bridge is not going into the tip right now?
Well, we're gonna try to work it in somewhere along the line because it was recommended to us. We were gonna try a full build on it, but the recommendation for PennDOT that we should be able to renovate that one, that it's not as bad shape as we think it is.
Okay. Alright, so back to the other bridge. You mentioned that this is the best bridge to work on for the taxpayers. Can you explain why?
Well, I think it's just for the money. I mean, I'll trade $1.6 million for $40 million any day the cost. If I can buy a car for $1,000 versus 40, I'll take the 1,000. And that's what it is. It's and in the next 10 years, where would we come up with $30 million? I mean, we get bonds for, we got the bond for $10 million that was going out to the taxpayers. I don't even know what a bond for $40 million to do something like that would be,
The big thing on Bridge 19, excuse me, is the wear surface or highway where we have a lot of spalding, so it's, behooves us to go ahead and, repair that as well as all the other repairs at the same time, so. that's a major issue. Maintenance constantly out there patching holes and everything, so it's mostly the wear part that's bringing that back to a head now. You know, that it's gotta be done sooner than later, so why not do it all the repairs at once?
Yeah, and some of that stuff is starting to like, the rebar is showing through. I mean, once you start having rebar showing through, that's, and our maintenance department is not a bridge crew. We're going on, and the things that they've been doing has been working, but it's like you just can't keep patching here and there and everything else, and it's just gonna wind up weakening the bridge. And these other bridges that are in, I mean, we have the one up in Packer Township, that we wanna get done, and the one out in Mahoney Township. Those are two of our critical bridges, that have to get done. We're hoping we can get all three of these done at one time.
And then Wayne, you kind of mentioned like why not like do all of it once? Can you kind of talk about why it's important to take care of these county bridges?
Well, it's all preventive maintenance really, and like Rocky was trying to explain, it's when the rebar's sticking out, we have potholes, so it does create problems for vehicle traffic. It's a high traffic area, as we all well know, especially on holidays and hot days with Beltsville there. So it's extremely important that we keep up with the maintenance on the bridges. If we don't keep up with the maintenance of the bridges, preventative maintenance, it's gonna cost us a lot more in the future to do the repairs.
And then, okay, so the 500,000 match for the county, where is that coming from?
Out of our liquid fuels, like we have three different, yeah, Act 13. So we have like three different funds that we can draw it from. And I think, what did I say, we have total in all the funds is like 3, yeah, 1.1 in that, but total funds for working on bridges, we have like $3.25 million. That, I mean, and that doesn't last long when you have 30%. So we're hoping that they get waived at 506,000.
How would that get waived?
Well, it all depends, I guess, if they think it's a severity of it, that they might say, okay, this has to be done and moved ahead. You know, that's up to their determination, what they're gonna, you know, we're just looking to get it waived. You know, that'll give us I mean, $3 million isn't really that much money to work on 19 bridges. You know, every dollar we can save would be great.
Okay, I think that's all I have for the bridges. And then Mark's retirement, is that already happened? That's done?
No,
No,
his
he's-
effective date is October 2nd. Roberta Bales, that's not till January 3rd. Pam is September 14th, somewhere in September. So, yeah, he's not done. We just got the letter Tuesday morning. We wanted to get it on the agenda as soon as possible. I wish we'd have more time for training here because we advertise, interview, and whoever we might select would have to give notice possibly of 2 weeks. We're gonna have very little time, if any, for the trainee position, but creating the position doesn't give us the opportunity to get somebody on board, hopefully before Mark retires.
I guess, what would you say to anyone who would maybe want to apply for that position? Like, kind of what goes, like, what are you guys looking for?
Why is it so important? Well, whoever applies has to be, has to be committed to the position. This is not a position, and we have to discuss some other issues with it. Being on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the salary of that position for that responsibility for holidays, etc. You have to be committed. You have to have it in your blood, I would say. You have night meetings when you meet with the fire service or EMS. You could leave the door, walk out the door and be called 2 minutes later to go to an incident and could be out for several hours or days at times. So it has to be something, they should have some emergency service background. Very hard to find someone that already has the certifications. They'll be required to get state certifications to move forward. So a big time commitment and sacrifice of family life for a position like this, so, hopefully we'll get some applications or good qualified people and go from there. Maybe I'll retire and take it over again, I've still got my certifications.
Okay, that's all I have, thank you.
Yeah. Yep. So, what else? Anything else? Nothing? Kelly?
I was hoping you could talk a little bit about Mark and his years. Was it 2003, 2004?
Yeah, he has 22 years in 2022, or 2002 maybe, when he was moved. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but he's been active. It involves quarterly training, a lot of time away from home, you know, at quarterly training, which a requirement of the state. You have to attend 75%. It's not always local. There's gonna be a lot of time and travel in getting certified. A lot of it is online, not like it used to be. You can get a lot of these courses online. There's federal courses that you can go to. You can go to the Federal Emergency Management in Emmitsburg, Maryland, to get some of the certifications and training and that, but
Can you talk about the job that Mark has done?
Mark is on, he did a lot of sacrifices when I go back to it. A lot of time, you know, he on vacation or he takes a day off and he's out in the woods and, you know, his pager will go off when he's deer hunting. You know, he probably missed 30 or 40 deer over the years, so. But, yeah, he's done a good job. It's a lot of committee meetings, and we did add some responsibility with the training center and tracking the training hours and sending letters out to those requesting the facility, so he's been doing a good job in that. You know, you oversee the local emergency planning committee, basically, the hazardous materials training for the various first responders and the borough workers who are supposed to be certified to go out on any spills or anything, so, not Mark's fault, but a lot of times the local road crews and that don't always keep up with their training. And that is one of the few federal requirements that we have is annual training and hazmat response for fuels, etc., oil spills, gas spills, etc. That is a requirement. Working with others in a incident command system, you have to have a good personality for this position as well. Working with the hospitals, the school districts on planning, and the people in the municipalities, even hazmat for the ammonias and the chlorines and all that stuff we have. So there's a lot involved, and he only has one other full-time person in that office as an administrative assistant, which is a requirement to be a civil service in order for the county to be reimbursed from 50% of the salaries for those positions. If we don't have somebody there from civil service, we would lose that funding.
And even with Mark, I think we're losing the experience that he brings or brought, and even like the connections he always had, because like that time when we lost the heat up at the prison, you know, he knew he didn't need a handbook, or, you know, he contacted PEMA and FEMA, and next thing, within the next day, we had a tractor trailer there with a heating system on it. So that I mean, there's awful big shoes there to fit. And I'm hoping that we get somebody that's similar to him, and they're gonna have to learn over the years. I mean, I'm sure Mark was, everybody's green your first year, but like, I mean, it's like hard to believe what Mark brought to us. I mean, and like I said, I'm sure, like Wayne said, he might have missed a lot of deer, but I'm sure he missed a lot of birthday parties and even weddings. I mean, sometimes they were out and you'd get called out. You think, oh yeah, I'm coming to the scene, and next thing it's into 2-3 days. You know, it's not just an hour thing. So, like I said, I wish him lots of luck on his vacations that he's gonna have in the future.
He does deal with so many different state and federal agencies, as well as contractors and municipalities and other organizations, Red Cross and DEP, EPA, and a lot of regulations and responses. You have to know where to go for help, and even applying for grant or funding to be reimbursed for the incidents that are not covered by the person responsible for the incident. We can't always identify that person, so you have to know where to go for funding. It's a lot more involved in this than people really realize, you know. So, actually, you know, like I say, I wish we had the funding that you'd have two people, that you're not always on call. We do have deputies, they do go out and call when Mark does go on vacation or he's away at training. Incidents, like I said, the drowning at Beltsville a few years ago, that was 9 days, every day for 9 days. So then you work with multiple other agencies and counties on your responses, and that's what the job is, coordinate the emergency response to whether it be weather, hazmat incident, weapons of mass destruction, you name it. It's a wide variety.
You said he has deputies. Are they paid positions? Deputies.
Deputies, no,
Are they
they are all volunteer. That's the other thing.
Volunteer.
All the deputies are volunteer. Normally they're EMS or fire related that has response experience. They help when they come out with the command post, the bus that we have, our communications van. They'll get volunteers to help man that, to help coordinate efforts and search and rescues, etc. So it gets involved.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I think that's everything.
Call if you need more.
Anything else? Good? You all good? Okay, good. Stay cool out there.
Oh,